Hey, how we doing, guys?
Morning, guys.
Joe here.
Kevin.
Barry, season two is it's taken off. Very stressful point right now for Barry. We have a lot of revelations in the last episode. Fuchs is kind of plotting against him a little bit.
Yeah, is this tonally more serious than the first season already, you think?
I mean, it's not that I would say it's more serious. I feel like where season one kind of ramped up to a certain level and
Right.
kept a certain tone. This is just
Excuse me.
kind of carrying that over.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily like it's upping anything. It's just kind of taking the seriousness and the oh my gosh, the dire nature of
Right.
the season. And
Yeah,
just
I
kind
mean,
of
yeah,
bringing that.
the stakes are really high
Yeah,
to start this. That might be a good way to put it because in the first season the stakes didn't really get super high until like the last two episodes.
yeah.
Like yeah, there were Barry was killing people and the Chechens and were and then the Bolivians were having their conflict, but
It was still kind
you
of funny.
you never really felt like things weren't going to work out with
Yeah,
that. I didn't anyway. Um,
there's a like an episode or so where you're like,
right.
how you get out
Yeah.
of this?
Yeah. At the end, like how you get out of this,
Yeah,
like that, especially that final
yeah.
episode. Um, but now with the big thing, obviously, which is Fuchs working with the police to try to or not the police plural. It seems like just Loach, right? That's his name, right? You said Loach.
Loach.
Yeah. To
Yeah,
try
Loach.
to try to to try to get Barry.
Well, because Loach is
Um,
like trying to solve this case by himself
right.
because my partner, like all that,
It just feels more serious, I guess, than the stuff in the first season.
It does. But I will say, I, I don't think the show is less funny. If
No,
anything,
no, no. It's still
it's
funny.
certainly in many ways it might be funnier in the first season. Those first two episodes we got, man, I was dying at the Lululemon store.
Oh, for sure.
She's like, "You thought it was a candy star berry," and then in the last episode, I mean, Loach is great. I loved when they were reenacting their trauma.
Oh,
All the
yeah.
actors. Oh my
I,
god.
I feel like the for probably all four seasons that the drama class
Yeah,
is going to be a nice like
the drama
breath of
class is
fresh
hilarious.
air. Oh, for
They're
sure.
so funny.
Right. The untalented yet really sincere actors in that class.
Because in the first season you had oh my god, Ryan doing Drexel from True Romance.
Right. It
And then
was so good.
we have to witness whatever that was, the last episode of them all like reenacting their trauma. I love the bit where he's like eating his taco and the dog comes and bites his ankle.
Yeah.
Or like when the older guy, I always forget his name, is being held like a baby as he cries. It's kind of surreal, honestly.
Sure.
Um, but the stakes are crazy high though. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is essentially about a murderer,
Right.
and it's
No, it
hilarious.
it is, and I'm starting to get the sense, and I didn't I mean, obviously they made fun of the acting class and Gene and all of that,
Yeah,
but as we kind of get farther into the acting class, especially with this little thing,
sure.
and they're like, Gene's like, we're going to do a show out of it and charge people money to come
Yeah.
watch it. And it's like, how much is he just really sending up Hollywood? You know what I mean? Like, how much is that the target of his ire here?
The mesh of the two tones, it's kind of jarring, and
Right.
it's hard.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
It's hard to describe. I'm trying to talk about it, and it's like it's hard to kind of put your finger
Oh,
on what this is.
sure. Yeah, it's almost not a genre piece at all, and that it's hard to really like when you say
It's like two genres just
right.
car
Yeah,
crash into each other.
yeah. I mean, like I know we mentioned it before, but like how the Emmys are like, what do we call this show a drama or do we call it a comedy? And they obviously went with comedy, and it is hilarious.
I think that's safe. I think this is definitely. I would say it's a comedy overall.
Overall,
It's a
sure.
very dark comedy. I mean,
Yeah,
it
no,
is
it is
pitch black,
right.
but
But I mean, I don't think it's. I think it tonally isn't a whole. I mean, the stakes are high, but I don't think it's tonally a whole lot different than Succession, and Succession's considered a drama.
was that's what's weird to me
Right.
is we talked about the Emmys recently about how Succession's kind of sweeping the dramatic category, where I'd say Succession is hilarious.
I do. I think so too.
I would say there's moments in that show where it's as funny as Barry.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like maybe it's just the length. You know what I mean?
sure.
Because we're conditioned to think of 30-minute shows as comedies and hour-long shows as dramas.
Yeah,
Like since the 70s, right? We've been kind of conditioned in that, and maybe that's why like, well, Barry's 30 minutes and it's funny, therefore it's a
sure.
comedy. Succession is an hour long. It's sometimes funny and sometimes really serious, therefore it's a drama.
But sometimes calling this a comedy kind of feels like
It's reductive, I
it
think.
kind of
Yeah.
feels like calling Pulp Fiction a comedy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You
right.
could call it a comedy, but at the same
Sure.
time, it's not really that.
Right. No, no, I don't think so.
So it's kind of its own thing.
Yeah, and that's what you want, right?
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with again, like genre pieces. I love genre films. I love genre television
I
shows
just
as long as they
watched,
do it well.
I've been watching genre movies all week, man.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's entertainment.
Right. Film noir.
Yeah.
There are some of my favorite films are straight up film noir. That fall right, that stay right in that
Thrillers,
sweet
I
spot.
love that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely. There's nothing wrong with genre, but it is exciting when you have a piece like this that you can't really nail it down.
Yeah.
You can't pigeonhole it into one.
And we're trying to, like I said, put our finger on this guy. So if you have a better way of explaining this or making this seem like what it is, let us know.
Right, yeah.
If you have anything to compare this to, let us know. Obviously, we've said Pulp Fiction, Gross Point
Right.
Blank. Obviously, I feel like there's a huge Coen Brothers influence. It's a really nice
Coen
bunch.
Brothers are really dark but funny, right?
Yeah.
Like think Fargo,
God, yeah, Fargo starts off hilarious, then it ends so dark.
so dark. Yeah. Do you want to welcome some new Patreon subscribers for the last few days, guys? So, Erek Schneier, Linz, Jasper Abbott, and Roxanne Miles. Thanks so much, guys, and welcome. We really, really, really are glad that you're here with us.
Yes. And if you're watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
All right.
If you don't mind hitting the like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please, please, please hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the new content we've come your way.
Absolutely. If you'd like to see full-length reactions to Barry and everything else we're watching, please check out the link in the description below to our Patreon page. There is a lot of stuff over there.
Yes. Just growing.
It is growing.
Future of the world is multinational alliance.
Smart person.
And to thrive in
Asia is not on rise because Hank has a rock-solid plan to stop Asia.
North Hollywood
Smart
Henry.
natural order of business.
Cristobal needs you. Something has happened.
First of all, what's up? Did someone happen to Esther?
Wow, you did not play that cool.
Holy shit. Guess not.
What a dirtbag would attack you at a holy place and fail, thankfully.
Someone is trying to play with us, Hank. Someone is playing games. Games like the chess you
Yeah,
showed
Esther
me.
knows.
Hank, I don't think it is safe for her to stay at the monastery. I have invited Esther and some of her men to stay here.
Well then, where are we supposed to stay?
Oh my god.
We have to kill Barry.
Purpose, sense of community.
Is he really telling Gene this?
First time I killed someone was the best day of my life.
Yeah, yeah. I was like,
say,
this
yeah.
seems like quite an admission.
Yeah.
I know better than anybody how scary it is to confront the past. I mean, when Gene pushed me to talk about my marriage, you saw me, it totally freaked me out.
Not the same thing.
Honestly,
Right? Yeah.
you want to choke me? Well, choke on this. I'm fucking leaving you.
He choked you.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he was a total piece of shit.
Man.
What is this?
That is the key to my cabin. I want you to have it. I want to keep it in the family. You can maintain it, you can show it, you can rent it.
You want me to be your groundskeeper?
Well, I like to think of it more as assistant to the owner.
Oh my god.
Please go away, please, Dad. Please, please, please leave me alone.
Yeah, Gene can't help himself, can he? He's been awful for so long. He doesn't know how to not think of himself.
I think underneath that there's a person
No,
there.
I think he's trying.
Right.
It's just so conceited.
Yeah.
And I decided I'm going to write a scene about Sam.
Okay. Why?
Well, I mean, specifically about the night that I left. So do you remember that night? I need to know, what you remember about that last night.
I remember that you came over in the middle of the night, and you had the welts on your neck.
Oh, he did choke
Wow.
her. Yeah.
And you was passed out on the floor as usual, so we just grabbed a whole bunch of your stuff. We just threw it in the car, and you took off.
Okay, so
Oh,
she's
so
full of
she,
crap.
yeah,
never said that.
she never told him off.
This is not the story of the first time I took a life, but the first time I saved a life.
Okay, anybody here shoot a donkey? Right, I didn't think so. Look, I understand that you're upset about your donkey, but no one here shot it, so we're not going to compensate you for it. Talk to me, talk to me. He can talk to me.
God is watching.
God is watching me. Well, then God knows that I...
Oh my god!
Did not see that coming. Oh.
Somebody shooting at him?
Is it Hank?
Oh my god!
There is a power dynamic here which prevents.
Got to get this shit together. Just stand up there and shoot him.
Fuck you!
Believe in yourself.
I just got shot!
Get up, Hank. Get up. Fucking nuts. Taking shots at me. My fucking girlfriend's in there.
I'm dead man anyway, so you know what? Just do it.
No, there's no way.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Oh my God, that was so scary. That was really scary.
I can't work for you anymore, all right? You gotta find someone else.
Well, do you know any other assassins?
No.
Well, what do you want me to do? Go to John Wick Assassin Hotel with help wanted sign? I mean, what?
You got good guys, right? What if I train your guys?
They already have physical trainer. They have like 3.
Not at a gym. I'm talking about, I'm a Marine, all right?
Yeah, he's trying not to kill people this season.
You turn these pumpkins into Cinderellas overnight, huh?
Gosh.
You could take over Burmese Mafia, go back to 50-50 with Cristobal.
Or you can just take the whole thing for yourself.
50-50 with Cristobal.
What are you doing?
Come on, get up.
You can't talk to each other on the phone.
Cristobal.
This is
People are
so
looking at it.
weird. Also, how you gonna hide the bullet holes in your wall, man?
In your bed.
Oh my god. That was intense.
Yeah, of course she's not gonna
She's
realize.
not going to notice, yeah.
I have to do it 100% honestly, you know? And she basically remembers it exactly the same way I do.
Oh, good. No, she doesn't. Wow, Sally really does hear what she wants to hear and sees what she wants to
I
see,
know,
doesn't
man.
she?
Who can you talk to help with your story? What about the Marines that you brought to Natalie's party?
Yeah, they're all
They
dead.
don't really talk anymore.
You admit it, you killed Detective Janice Moss.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't, you little piece of shit.
Is that necessary?
Just go. Just do it again.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Is it true you're the most gifted assassin in all of America?
No, I'm not the most gifted assassin in all of America.
Нет, он не самый популярный убийца в Америке.
He's being modest. He is Air Jordan of assassins.
Wait, how many of you guys speak English?
Why is there a translator there?
Oh, man. These guys are like a SEAL Team 6, huh? Maybe even
Oh my
like 7
God.
and a half. Natural born killer.
Oh.
Holy shit, Matterback. Hey, boss. Did you see?
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
That was meant for Natalie.
Sorry, we're closed.
So this is how you're earning a buck now, huh? Selling sports bras?
I'm really glad you're here.
Really?
So, I was going to talk about when I saved Albert, that story.
That story gets fucked up really fast.
Yeah,
That's
I get you.
literally the worst story you could tell.
Want to hear that story?
Right, yeah.
They don't want honest. They want entertainment.
That's actually true.
You think that the real guy did that speech in Braveheart? No!
Sally, she has a friend that, you know, she told her story to, and, you know, it was really helpful, she said, because it was someone who was there.
Yeah.
Kind of someone who cared.
Huh.
I missed you, man. I did. I know, it sounds great. We could talk about other shit, but I really missed you.
so much.
Oh, okay.
Get in here. I got you.
He's just so put out.
This is the true story of the moment that changed my life. Albert had been shot in the face, and I was giving him first aid. And then something interesting happened.
Listen to me. Run and live, at least for a while.
Is this Braveheart?
This is Braveheart.
And
This
dine
is
in
the
your beds
actual
many years
speech.
from now.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yep.
That's Braveheart.
No, it's not.
That is definitely Braveheart. I know this because I chased that movie for months.
I want to do something inspirational and entertaining.
So you thought you would plagiarize Mel Gibson? I'm Jewish. What the fuck, Barry? You were in a war, and you give... Have you settled on someone to play your ex?
It's disgusting.
Nick's doing it.
Yo.
Is that firm?
Oh my
Yes.
God.
If anything, I'm more comfortable with you doing it. Hey, this is a really good stretch for you. Try to access some rage, you know?
You look like a whore.
Can you try it again and just like really nail me with the word whore? Really just come at me, you know? Okay.
Come on, Barry, you're acting. It's okay.
Sorry, I don't think I can do this.
Why?
This is a choker. This is a choke you. I don't know if I can do that. I don't think I can choke you.
Oh,
You're not gonna
that's
actually
really
choke her.
sweet. Come on!
Don't do that, please, Sally. Just something I'm not capable.
He shoots people and he's
Wow.
not capable
Come on, you
of it.
baby.
Oh, she's
Hey.
gening out here, isn't she?
Come down, you're nothing but rotten.
What is wrong with
and
you?
you like it. And that's why you're never gonna change. And that's why I'm gonna fucking leave you.
Oh my god.
Come on!
Stop it.
Come on!
Scene with-
Choke me!
Let it out.
Fuck off!
Hey,
I see what she
Barry,
was
hey.
doing, honestly.
I do, but like it's kind of a bad way to go about that.
She's trying to get his energy, trying to get him to match
Match
his
the
energy.
energy,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Sally.
Is that Sam?
Nah.
Hey, Sam.
What? Yeah. Doesn't want to hurt anybody.
I think he might change his mind.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that what you think the is? I don't want to hurt
He's just
anybody
gonna
when
walk
Sam
up and
shows
deck
up.
him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is gonna get him back on his "it's okay to kill people" kick.
I wonder. All right, they fit a lot in 30 minutes, but there's a lot to like stretch out, I guess. You're right. Barry is capable of choking her, but at the same time, I feel like these two lives he lives, he's trying so hard not to have any overlap there.
Oh, right. That's what the
Yeah.
struggle is. Is like everyone tells him you need to access this, the
Yeah.
darker part of yourself. He's like, I don't want to access it. Well, it's there.
I know.
It's very much there.
I mean, I have empathy for him.
No,
But I'm
absolutely.
Like, I don't want to hurt anybody. Like, well,
Right.
dude, you did. You have.
Yeah, you have been. You've been going beyond hurting people.
And so, I don't know. Obviously, like a murderer, you can't really have sympathy for a murderer.
Here's why I don't have sympathy for him, and I don't. I know I'm supposed to, right?
Yeah.
I think I don't because he doesn't really seem sorry about what he's done. He doesn't want to do it anymore, and that's commendable, right? I don't want to hurt people anymore. But he isn't saying I don't want to hurt anyone anymore. He's saying I don't want to hurt people, as in not accepting the fact that he has been a lot. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And I know that's a weird distinction, right? I may be splitting hairs, but I don't feel that he's sorry for what he's done at all. Just that he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah,
and that's commendable, but it's only a half measure.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah, total sense. I mean,
I'm not trying to be unfair. I know he's our protagonist, and you root for him, and I want him to get better. I want him to have a happy ending.
Well, he's not going out of his way to turn himself in. He's not helping the families of the people that he killed.
Yeah. I don't know. And obviously it's great writing. I think you're supposed to be on the fence with someone like Barry.
Sure.
I don't think Bill Hader at any point when he's doing this show wants you to think Barry's a good guy, right? I don't think at any point we're supposed to be like, "Aw, I hope he gets away with everything because Barry's a great guy."
He's a guy who's trying, but man,
he's a guy who's trying,
boiling under the surface.
Yeah, I mean, he's
still hasn't killed anybody.
Not this season. He hasn't, and maybe he won't. Although Sam showing up makes me think that's going to change.
I think that guy's toast.
Like he's like right, like
that guy's toast.
Like he's the catalyst for Barry falling off the wagon a little bit.
Maybe.
Right.
It
makes sense.
Like, that's kind of like Dexter. Yeah, I mean,
right. Yeah,
it really is like Dexter. Much better show than Dexter though.
Yeah, I think so. I love Dexter in those first 4 seasons, but
first 4. But no, you're right. Barry's got a lot of complexity. I mean,
no, absolutely.
He's still training Hank's men to go kill people. He's training an army of killers. You know,
I just can't get past the fact that I know it's self-preservation and everything, but last season he killed Chris because Chris was freaked out, right? And he killed Moss because he was going to face consequences for what he's done.
I feel bad.
Those are 2 good people that Barry killed to protect himself, and it's really, really hard to root for somebody who did that. It's an audience, people watching, people who love the show, enjoy as much as we are. Am I being unfair? Is it easier? Should it be easy? Is it easier for you to like, I guess, quote unquote, like Barry? Then, and honestly, liking Barry or not, it's not really necessary to enjoy the show. But should I be liking him more than I am? I'm just, I'm with you.
We like Barry,
right? It's one of those things where I want him to get away with it, but I don't want him to get away with it. You know what I mean? It's like it's a really complex relationship with the character.
Well, it goes back to what we talked about. Like we want to see movies and TV with complicated protagonists, right?
This is definitely one.
This is that.
For sure.
He's not a good guy, but he is the protagonist, and I love it when projects are like, "This is your hero."
Right? Yeah.
Deal with it.
Right.
Yeah. You follow him through his ups and downs, and I do like movies and shows where there's a payoff, right?
Right.
Where there's always consequence for the actions. We're still early on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we still got almost 3 seasons here.
But each season has to have a beginning, middle, and end.
Right.
The overall story will have the same, but this season I feel like there's gonna be some catalyst where either he kills again or this comes out.
Right.
I feel like those are the 2 options for this season.
Well, I don't think you can have 4 seasons of the show if Barry gets caught.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. I really doubt that Barry makes the rest of the run of the show without killing someone. You know what I mean?
Right. It would be such a transition from the first season. It'd be interesting, but I don't think he can do it.
So whether it's like begrudgingly he kills somebody or like
self-defense
he
or
can't
something,
help himself,
right? Yeah.
Or it just comes out and he's like, I am a killer.
I think that's where we're going.
Yeah.
I think Sam's the guy. Like there aren't that many people left that Barry is willing to go to that place with. or will go to that place with. But I mean, that last shot when he turns around and looks at Sam, he's there, right?
It's the same face he made when he was in War.
Right.
One
It was, yeah.
Yeah, he turns around with that mean face. Like
Maybe that was the point, right? Because it was the exact same look. It was the same. I mean, it was even the same frame rate. You know what I mean? Like it was the same slow motion. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. That's the same thing. It's like this. He may kill Sam.
Inherent darkness.
Yeah, it is. He can't help himself, and the more he tries, the more he's gonna fail.
Yeah. Well, we should talk about the violence a little bit too. I mean, like we said in the first season, it's very visceral.
It is. It's realistic.
It puts a knot in your stomach. This episode might be the first episode where the violence in the show. I mean, I guess Goron's killing was kind of unrealistic, but like this might be the first episode where it's like, all right, it's kind of fun.
Yeah,
that was very Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I mean, it was still realistic.
No, sure, yeah, like it wasn't like
right,
exploding,
plaster blowing everywhere because it doesn't. It just would have punched holes like it did. I mean, it was realistic, so I wasn't taken out of the moment.
Not.
The verisimilitude was there and everything, but I think you're right. I think tonally it wasn't supposed to be as like, oh my god, there's a lot of it.
Yeah, look how the Chechens reacted to
that
situation.
Right. Well, I mean, maybe it'd been different if Barry would have killed the guys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. The fact that nobody died probably made that a little bit like a. Okay, we can breathe through this one a little bit more,
Yeah.
But it was still very realistic, very well done. We just got Barry's perspective as he was getting shot at. It
was great.
Like in the hands of a lesser show, it would have been a much bigger deal, right?
Yeah, the cocking.
Yeah. There would have been music. There would have been a big sound build up to when the bullet started flying. You'd have seen the guy shoot.
Sure.
We've all seen that crap.
No,
right?
Exactly.
A million times. Yeah.
That's tired.
Very. And this didn't do that. We just got Barry's perspective of the bullet hole showing up. To where the first two, we were like, "Wait, what's happening?"
Yeah. And I think we can't stress enough. I wasn't alive when it came out, but Pulp Fiction, when it first came out, people, even Goodfellas, like people were kind of shocked by the fact that, like, wait, these are gangsters talking about real life things,
right? Yeah.
And I feel like that's been done so much now. This show takes that and it adds that comedy touch to it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like they're talking about real life things and it's relatable stuff, but at the same time, it's so funny.
Right. And and you say it's been done to death, and it's been done. I want to point out poorly most of the time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, how many Tarantino wannabe ripoffs have we gotten over the last 2 decades?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Even like, I mean, I liked Bullet Train, but even that kind of felt like.
Of course, yeah. And now I feel like we're transitioning away from that into everybody's trying to make John Wick movies now. You know what I mean?
This is kind of a middle ground, right?
Right.
Like you have the let's go Barry moments, but at the same time you think about it, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's not go. Yeah.
Sure. There's been very few times where I've been like, yeah, go do some violence, Barry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There haven't been those kind of situations.
Not really. I mean,
you wanted to be okay. Like when they raided him and Taylor raided the stash house.
The stash house.
It's like, all right, let's you're going to get out okay. Is Taylor? Are you going to kill Taylor? Where are we going with this?
Yeah.
And it was exciting.
But still you have a knot in your stomach.
That's it. It's a pit of the stomach kind of feeling with the violence on the show because they don't play with the violence.
It was less John Wick and more heat.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, it was.
Yeah. So it's weird. Like we talked about earlier, it's hard to put your finger on the show. It creates this jarring feeling within you, so you're not really sure how you're supposed to feel. But I mean, regardless, it's entertaining. And
no, for sure.
It feels important.
Well, and one of the reasons I absolutely love the show isn't just that we're genre bending, as we absolutely are, and then the characters are interesting and the performers are great, which they absolutely are. But the simple fact that we're not. I don't feel like we're supposed to love the violence of the show at all.
No.
And I really commend the show for that. Well, it's a violent show that is not in any way glorifying the ugliness of the violence.
And it's surprising. Even in the flashback when Albert gets shot in the face.
Yeah, I jumped.
I jumped too.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not fun. It's not cool like a war movie.
Right.
It's like, oh my God, it's horrifying.
Yeah, I remember sitting in the theater with people who were enjoying American Sniper way too much for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I get it, Eastwood, but
politics aside, I just think it's a bad movie.
No, it's a bad movie. It's a bad movie.
And I like Eastwood, guys. I'm sorry.
Right. You know, here's the thing: there's plenty of Eastwood movies I haven't liked, but Unforgiven for me, he will always be a legend
It's one of the
to
all-time
me.
greats.
But absolutely, it is one of my probably top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Oh yeah, it's a masterpiece.
It is a masterpiece, and I will take no overall slander of Clint Eastwood
That's
as an auteur because of Unforgiven.
whatever he's done. Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, and that's a great point too, because that movie ties into like the ramifications of violence. As
Yeah,
well.
it treats violence like the reality. Violence is ugly.
Yeah.
Violence is ugly.
Yeah,
and there's no glorification of it.
And so, do you think a show like Barry could work in a feature narrative? Because this is obviously a show, so you can stretch out and spend more time with the characters. And what each season, the first season was that 8 episodes?
Yeah, so like 4 hours.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess you could. I guess you could put this in a film. I think, obviously, we said Pulp Fiction did this. This is doing it a little differently, and I feel like because it does have long term, it's a long term story. It has a better payoff.
Sure.
Do you think you could do a movie like this today?
I think you could. I don't think it could be one movie. You know what I mean? I think you could pare down if you didn't want. And I'm not talking plot stuff. I'm talking like character arcs and
Yeah.
and you know, laying out the themes and paying off your setups. I think you could probably make a season into a long 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to lose so much that you're kind of losing the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think if you cut Barry down into a movie, you're going to lose the thread a lot.
And I would say the show itself is very cinematic. It feels like
Sure,
a movie of itself.
absolutely, yeah.
That's the great thing about us watching a lot of these HBO shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait for the next one, honestly.
I know. A whole week with the wait.
All right. We'll catch you in the next one, guys.
See ya.